strong, beautiful, amazing, purposed, and crafted by the Father for such a time as this. All Things Woman is a talk show purposed for women, for the queens who were created and crafted by God for such a time as this. All Things Woman is all about celebrating the woman as God's beautiful and amazing masterpiece. Life has tried to take you out, but every single time, because of the strength of God that is within you, woman, you got back up. You kept moving, and God carried you in the times where you couldn't even walk on your own. Welcome to All Things Woman. I am your host, Dr. Eboni Bell, and I am super excited for this dream come true. It has been a dream in my heart since I was a young girl who looked up to Oprah Winfrey to have my own talk show, and I am happy to say that I'm celebrating my birthday week by launching my talk show. All Things Woman is all about celebrating the masterpiece of woman. I just believe that when God created women, he created something amazing and special. He took his time and he created her after he created man for a reason, because we possess everything that men don't. And so we're so amazing. And one of my goals with the show is to inspire you and to empower you to be God's masterpiece. For many of you, you know that I'm an artist, and so everything I do, art is incorporated in it. It's just a gift that God gave me that I want to share with the world. But most of all, I want to share with you that you are God's masterpiece. I'm so excited about today's guest that we have. Our first guest is none other than Delaware's own Bria Noel, and we're going to get right into talking to her. She's a great musical artist, and her voice is just amazing. Reminds you of one of the greats. Some of you may know her by Beyonce. Her voice is just amazing. So we're going to find out all about her journey right now. You guys ready? Because I'm ready. Welcome again to All Things Woman. Woo! Bria. Woo! Yes. Bria, I'm so excited to have you here today. I can't help but think about the fact that just a little over a year ago, you and I were working together on your video set.
Yes.
And actually this painting you see on the set today was on that video set. And so I want to start off by just finding out when you knew you were born to sing, because you're on the Young Dreamers segment today. And I really want you to be able to inspire some other young people who may have a dream or a goal. How did you get started, and how did you know that you were born to sing?
Well, first, just thank you so much for allowing me to be here. This is just incredible, and I'm happy to be a part of your journey. I want to say that I knew that I wanted to sing the moment I hit center stage at my elementary school talent show. I was very nervous, and I didn't know what to expect. My mom wanted me to do it really more so than I did. And I remember I sung the song Tomorrow by Annie.
Oh, did you?
And I had like my little star outfit on with my little 2 red ribbons, and a little ponytail and everything. And I got up there and like stood in one place, but I sung the song. And it was just after that I said, I have to do this.
Wow.
I have to do this.
Wow. So it was just something that came like as an instinct to you. You just knew that it was what God created you to do. Well, listen, you are doing it, and you're doing it big.
Thank you.
What are some of your, or who are some of your biggest influences in music?
Okay. So everybody freaks out, but it's Tevin Campbell. And I know a lot of people are like, what about Beyonce and, you know, Usher and all those stars that are here today? They're amazing. But I believe that a lot of the singers from, you know, way back then are the foundation of our music. Just the old, you know, 90s groups, even way back to like the different huge stars like Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, and way beyond. I feel like those are the people who are the foundation of music that really use their talent, you know, and only their talent, you know, not really selling their, you know, clothes or what's on the outside, but really using their gift.
Talk about that. Talk about how you see young people using their voice and their influence in today's society, and whether you think it's positive, negative. What can you say about that?
I'm sure that there are some positive things out there, but it's just what you see is just negative. It's just sad because this industry is scary.
Yes.
It's it teaches the young girls that it's okay to, you know, not be closed as much. It's
Right.
okay to talk about sex or drugs, and it's okay to, you know, especially for like the different artists out today, it's okay to be, you know, fresh or live fast or grow up super fast. And I'm like, that's scary because it's this thing where we think it's normal, it's cool, you know, it's what we're listening to. We have our headphones on, we're jamming, and we have no idea of the powerful effect that music has on us.
Right, right. You have amazing parents. I know your parents personally. Talk to me about what your parents have instilled in you that let you know that you're valuable. And then what would you say to other young women who may not have the advantage of having parents to tell them that or teach them that?
I've personally experienced horrible insecurity problems growing up. I remember when I was younger, I was obese. You know, I was overweight. I heard the doctor constantly in my ear, like, you have to lose weight, you have to lose weight. I was at a very dark time in my life where I was, you know, starving myself, telling myself I wasn't pretty or good enough. And I remember being in my room just crying and crying. My mom came in and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm ugly. Like, nobody's going to listen to me sing. Nobody's going to listen to my music. How am I going to be? Because at that time I was looking at, you know, Beyonce and all those big
You were
stars.
looking at the images that were before you that teach you what you're supposed to look like.
And I was like, how? I said, why does God want me to sing and I'm nothing like those girls? My mom said, Bria, you are called. You know, God made you perfectly the way you are. And I still didn't believe it at the time. But she just kept pumping that into me.
She kept sowing that seed. Yes. Awesome.
And I'm just grateful for that.
Do me a favor. I want you to look into the camera and speak to a young girl who may be where you were that day, and tell her that she's God's masterpiece. Tell her that she's God's handiwork. She's waiting to hear your voice.
You are God's masterpiece. No amount of pain will ever last forever. Nothing lasts forever. It will soon pass. You have to stay strong in your faith, trust in God, and know that you are beautiful and that you are His masterpiece. Why on earth would He make you a mistake? God does not make any mistakes. And that's what I had to learn.
You are such an amazing person. You're so young, but you have so much in you. And I really encourage you to continue to use your gifts and talents as a young dreamer. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back to hear a song from none other than Miss Bria Noel.
This is an original song that was written by me, my mom, and my dad, entitled Already Defined. If there were a place where I belong, I'd lend a helping hand to the ones who aren't strong. To escape all the pressure that's living inside, I'll make a difference in someone else's life. The ones who claim they don't need no help are only thinking about themselves. They feel the pain and the hurting inside, but I'll be there live. I live my life with a purpose. Nobody's changing my mind. No drinks, no drugs, no depression. My life is already defined. You live your life with a purpose. Nobody's changing your mind. No drinks, no drugs, no depression. My life is already defined. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. My life is already defined. I will glow wherever I go, and I'll shine bright with the light I have inside.
We are back. We just finished interviewing Bria Noel, and we had an amazing performance by her. We're going to switch on over to our Wise Wife segment. And the purpose of that segment is for us to uplift and encourage one another as wives. Being a wife is not easy by far. But I'm so excited to have Miss Keri Crutchfield today to share a little bit of her experience with us. And I want to just start off by talking to her about how she does it all. So you are amazing.
Thanks.
You are a wife, you are a mother, you are a fashion stylist, you are a minister. Like you're an amazing person. And here at All Things Woman, it's all about being God's masterpiece, and you're definitely that. But so tell me how you do it all. Like, what kinds of things do you put in place to be able to do it all?
You know, honestly, Ebony, to start off, I just want to say thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
I love everything woman, all things total woman. But I really want to say that I don't do it all.
Okay.
That's my
Go there.
That's my honest answer.
Yeah.
And that's my truth for the world and for all women to know.
Yeah.
That I am a wife. I can't turn that off. I can't quit that like I can a job.
Yeah.
I can't take time off from that. I have no desire to exit out of that. I cannot stop being a mom. I'm going to always be a mom.
Yeah.
You know, that's who I am, and that's not just what I
you do. Exactly.
So I don't do it all. I
Yeah.
failed at a lot of things. I failed in every one of those categories. I failed sometime at being a mom. I don't get it all right.
Right.
I feel like sometime I failed at being a wife.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to be a wife. I knew what my perception of being a wife and a woman was. But even in that, I don't feel like I do any of those things that great. It's the greatness of God in me that makes me and
Yes.
allows me to do what I do.
Yes.
So to put all of that into perspective, I really keep God first, and
Yeah.
that's the center of it all.
Yes. Yes.
That's how I do it.
Yeah, I love what you said about it's not just what you do, it's who you are.
Yeah.
I can share something personal with you. I just turned 34 this past week, and I'm finally coming to a place in my life where I'm practicing just being.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've been a doer my whole life. So I
Yeah.
totally understand what you're saying. And when you have those multiple roles as a wife like that, I tell people all the time, it's not so much that you can balance it.
Yeah.
Like you can't really balance it.
Yeah.
You pick something up and you put something down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not that you're trying to balance it. No, you figure out what the priority is and you do that. And you
do
be
it.
that, right?
Yeah.
In the moment.
In the moment.
Yeah, in the moment. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now listen, I want to jump right into an amazing story of redemption that took place in your life, that is taking place in your life. You have had some challenges in your marriage, just like everybody else does. And the reason I brought you on the show today was to simply for you to share how can we as wives make it through moments that feel like we can't. You know what I mean? How has God's grace played a part in your marriage? And you can tell me that story in whatever way you choose.
Okay. So I first want to start off by saying, you know, every woman may not have my story or share the scar that I carry. But the scar just simply means somewhere there was hurt and somewhere you've been healed.
Right.
So I just want to say, you know, it's hope for any woman out there, whether she's married, whether she's divorced, whether she stayed or she left, that with God, all things are possible.
Yes.
And
Yes.
God is a God that can save you and deliver you from anything.
Yeah.
So my story is, my husband suffered or struggled with same-sex attraction. So in 2014, my husband had an affair. And it left me really confused about where I was and who I was.
Okay.
And where I was in the whole marriage thing. And how God was going to either get the glory out of it or help me get through that and keep my mind.
Yeah. Wow.
Because I really didn't know. It shocked me. It took me back so far that I really didn't know what to do, who to turn to, who
Yeah.
to talk to,
Yeah.
or where to go.
Yeah. What was your first reaction, your natural reaction once you found out what was happening?
I was shocked.
Shocked. Okay.
I was shocked beyond words.
Yeah.
There were
yeah.
no words to describe the confusion and the pain and the hurt that I was going through. And God's not the author of confusion. So my first thing was to go to God.
Okay.
And what do you want me to do
Yeah.
or not do? And where do I go from here?
Yeah. Talk to me about what steps you all were able to take as husband and wife together to be able to begin to allow God to reconcile the situation. What did you have to do together?
Talking.
Talking.
A lot
Okay.
of talking.
Communication, yeah.
And I thought we were great in marriage. I thought we were
Yeah.
great in talking, best
Right.
friends. But I realized in this that I'm a great talker, but I'm not a great listener.
Wow.
So
Okay.
one of my first things I had
Okay.
to do for myself was to step back and to listen to what he was saying.
Okay.
And then as a wife, to go to God in prayer to hear what he wasn't saying.
Yeah. Wow. What did you find out about yourself throughout the process? Just you, just Keri, just the woman, not even the wife or the mother. Like, what did you find out about you?
I really, honestly, Ebony, feel like marriage has been a full-length mirror for me. I'm a fashion
Wow.
stylist. So God speaks to me through fashion,
Yeah.
through clothes, through style.
Yeah.
So he showed me through my husband's proclivities myself.
Wow.
So although my sin wasn't his sin,
Okay.
I had heart issues.
Okay.
I had heart issues. He had secrets. We both had to heal.
Wow. Listen, I'm so like amazed that you're able to say that. I see so many people who are not able to talk about what's wrong with them, or even me, like I can't always look in the mirror and say what's wrong with me. I want you to look into the camera. We have about 2 minutes. I want you to use those 2 minutes to talk to any wife out there who may be struggling with something similar or just anything in her marriage. What would you say to her about God's plan of reconciliation?
I would say first to go to 2 Corinthians 5:18, because I can't talk to you about my experience without talking to you about God. I can't talk to you about reconciliation and restoration and what it looks like for me unless I tell you what it looks like to God. God can restore anything and anybody. He can restore you back to better than what you were. But you have to sometimes be broken in order to even be used by God. So just believe God. Believe God no matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on in your marriage. If you take a chance to really look at you, you can see God through this, and through him, all things are possible.
Wow. Wow. I wish we had more time. This is just an amazing conversation that we're going to have to continue. I thank you so much for, seriously, I thank you for being willing to share your testimony with the world. And I continue to pray that God will restore you, restore your husband, and restore your marriage. And I just want to thank you for being on All Things Woman, and I know God is going to use you in an amazing way.
Thank you.
We are back at All Things Woman. We're live here in the studio, and we're going to continue our conversation, which is in our Wise Wife segment, and we have none other than the beautiful and amazing Keri Crutchfield here with us today. She has been sharing her story with us about how God is redeeming her marriage after an affair. So what we're going to do is just jump right back into the conversation. So basically, you found out that your husband was having an affair. It was the same-sex attraction.
Yes.
And social media played a big part. What part did social media play in the process? And then talk to me about how we can use social media in a better way.
I feel like social media played it out.
Okay.
So it got on a blog, and then it went from there.
Okay.
I found out a little before social media because
Okay.
it was sent to me, but then it was still social media, sent through my emails. It was sent through Facebook, and then it went to Instagram. Pages were created. It was just a mess. It was a mess.
Wow.
And I feel like a lot of time in social media, we use it to tear each other down rather than build each other up.
Yes.
And in my marriage, I really recognized that if you're going to restore anything that's broken, you're going to have to take a break from the outside world for a minute.
Okay.
To regroup,
Yes.
to get yourself together, and to go back to God again. Because when you're in a situation like I was in, you have to really hear God for yourself.
Yeah.
Outside of the DMs, outside of the instant messaging,
Yes.
outside of tweeting in your feelings and in your emotions, you really have to go back and regroup from square one.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. And in your break, what took place in your time of consecration or your time of coming away with God? What happened inside of you? What transformed? What took place?
Transformation started with me first.
Okay.
It started from the bottom up again because I was all the way broken, all the way tore down. So I had to start with me. I had to start with therapy. I had to start with counseling.
Yeah.
And I admonish someone in my situation or in a situation like mine to seek help. To seek help not just through your church or through your local religious assembly, but go and get psychological or clinical help if you need it.
Talk about that, because in the African American community, it's very common for us to shy away from any type of counseling, any type of anybody in my business, in my face. We're that's
Definitely.
not something that's normal for us. So how did you bring yourself to do that? Was it suggested from someone, or?
It was suggested, but
okay.
I honestly knew within myself if I was going to get through this,
Yeah.
I had to talk to somebody else about it.
Yeah.
And I had to talk to somebody outside of someone who knew me.
Okay. Yes. Someone
so I
unbiased.
needed
Yeah.
someone total separate from it that was unbiased.
Yes.
And because of my husband's unwanted same-sex attraction, I needed to talk to somebody that could talk to me about that.
Okay.
And to how to realize or recognize that my marriage or what was going on in my marriage wasn't because of an unfulfilled or unfulfilled void in my life. It wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't something that I did.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
It wasn't Keri was doing the wrong thing.
Okay.
His addiction had nothing to do with me. It was before me.
Okay.
And sometimes you don't see the sin that's in your life until you get married.
Yeah.
And that wasn't just with him,
That's
that
deep.
was just with me as a woman too. There are certain things that didn't come out of me until I became a wife, until I became one with him.
Yeah.
And I had to take a step back and look at that and realize even the hurt that I was going through with him, it had a deeper root.
Wow.
I had to be healed from childhood hurts, childhood wounds, and therapy helped to bring that out of me.
Yeah, because I can only imagine something that I dealt with as a child was rejection.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine that if I view the situation as I'm being rejected by my husband, I can't even imagine what that felt like.
Yeah.
So I so applaud you for the process that you've allowed God to take you through. As we close up with the conversation, tell me about your blog, 21 Days of Love.
Oh, thanks so much for reading the blog, 21 Days of
Hey,
Love.
absolutely.
So we decided we wanted to think of a way to celebrate each other.
Okay.
During that time, it was a really hard time. I had just gotten back on social media. I had been off probably on a 1-year hiatus.
Yeah.
And I wanted to celebrate my husband.
Okay.
I wanted him to know that I loved him, that I was inspired by him and his courage.
And you
to
showed the
come
world.
clean.
Can I just be real? You showed the world, because I'm sure that everybody wanted you to throw in the towel,
Yeah.
or was whatever they had to say.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you from a sister to sister, that was bold, it was brave, and it was needed. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
There were a lot of people telling me to walk away.
yeah,
But I honestly, in my heart, know that God told me to stay.
yeah,
And I stayed because I love him and I trust God.
yeah.
I trust God above everything. I believe he's going to take everything that's happened and use it for his glory.
Yeah.
I believe it ultimately had nothing to do with Michael and Keri and everything to do with the glory of God.
Wow. The glory of God, and that's what it's all about. Listen, this has been an intriguing, eye-opening conversation. I want to thank you so much, Keri, for joining us. Follow her on Instagram, AdornDC. She's an amazing stylist. Hit her up. Listen, I hope we can continue this conversation again and again, because it's so good to my soul. Like, it's really blessing me, and I pray that it's blessing you. It's time for Hot Topics. I have Miss Deborah J here, and we have just a couple of juicy things to talk about. Hot Topics is just a chance for us to just talk about what's going on in the world. So what's up first, Deb?
Okay, so Alicia Keys, she's inspiring women, girls alike, to go sans makeup. And I want to know how you feel about this. She came from the gym to a photo shoot for her new album, and she was ready to go and said, I'm going to stay this way. I'm not going to get any makeup put on, anything like that. What do you think?
I saw the post on Facebook, and it was like 4 different shots of her with no makeup. Honestly, I think she looked beautiful. I think she looked like a regular person. Here's how I feel about makeup in general. I feel like makeup should enhance you, but it shouldn't turn you into a different person, right? Like, I think makeup is a great thing. It can make you feel fresh, it can make you feel new, it can make you feel fabulous, famous, whatever it is you want to feel that day. But I do think that it's a little too far if you look like a different person without your makeup. That's just my opinion.
And I also think it's like any other form of self-expression.
Yeah.
So you do your hair a certain way.
Yeah.
It's saying who I am.
Yes.
If you wear certain earrings or certain clothes. So makeup, I feel like it's another way to connect with yourself and an extension of your own expression.
I think the fact that Alicia Keys is using her voice to maybe stress to women how beautiful they are without their makeup, I love that, because there's so many women out here in the industry who are not using their voice for positive things and not to uplift other women. So, I'm all about uplifting and empowering. So for that reason, I think that it's a great thing. Yeah. Now, next up, Miss First Lady of Basketball, Ayesha Curry herself. little controversy this past week because she basically tweeted out that the NBA was rigged. She also had a couple of other tweets that went out during the game. Yeah, that followed, and some of these went out during the game. And so, what do you think about that? The NBA is rigged. She's the first lady of basketball.
Well, it kind of makes Steph Curry look a certain way.
Yeah.
It seems like this is something they could have potentially discussed behind closed doors, and it's like airing your personal business out. And so I think that's kind of a no-no for a wife,
Okay.
especially in her position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's
Yeah.
she's seen by everybody.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think she has to be careful how she represents herself and how she represents him. It's sort of like certain things Michelle Obama wouldn't say.
Yeah,
because
she
she's
can't.
a representation of
Yep.
the president.
It's bigger than
So,
her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will say this. I think that she has a right to her own opinion, as we all do. But what I want to point out is that I think that was a princess move versus a queen move. What do I mean by that? I think a queen has to think so carefully about what she says.
Right.
You're going to have all these different things you want to say and all these opinions, and all of that is great, and you need that. It's healthy. But when you think about protecting your queendom, which is your household, your marriage, your image, I hate to say it, but in this world, it's so important, especially because he has brands attached to him. He could lose endorsements. He has so much attached to him, which, look, don't touch your man's money. Like, don't do things to mess up the money. Like, you can't, but not just the money, the image. I mean, because they portray themselves to be Christians, and they're looked at quite a bit as an influential couple, especially a Christian couple. It was nothing wrong with what she said. It may be some truth behind that. Honestly, I understand her emotions, but when you're a queen, you have to think like a queen, speak like a queen, act like a queen, and that means to be strategic about everything that you do.
Above anything, don't make a decision or speak off of emotions, because you can't take back.
You can't
those
take it back.
words.
And she erased it, but it was already
It
done.
was done. Yeah.
Like, she
that
has
was done.
500,000 followers or more, so it was already done. But hot topics, that's our hot topics for right this second. We talked about Alicia Keys and the no makeup movement. We also talked about the First Lady of Basketball, Aisha Curry, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next with them. I believe they're going to have some type of reality show. I'm sure they have all kinds of things in the works. She's a great cook, a chef. I just love watching her Facebook page because she posts so much to inspire women, even with being a basketball wife. So I love it. Has been the first episode of All Things Women Talk Show, and we'll be back soon. Bye.